Hey everybody! How you all doing? Paper Planes, Stanley, nice to see you. Nice to see you back. Hope your cats are doing well. And welcome to number 20 of my Bass with Benjamin live stream. Your boy Marky, yo, what's up? How you doing? Nice to see you. As you can see, I've got some warmer clothes on because it is being cold and very rainy, but it's all good. I know some of you are in the summer heat, so wherever you are, hope you're staying cool, hope you're staying warm, staying dry, staying hydrated. And so, of course, we get into some fun discussions, nerdy discussions about bass playing and music. So you got a question, anything, pop it down in the chat and we'll see where it goes. Obviously, last week we covered a lot of stuff, which was a lot of fun. We covered Anthony Jackson and the six-string bass, as well as how do you respond to someone who says, hey, you got, why don't you just play a guitar instead? as well as good old envelope filter questions, as always. Artificial harmonics. I mean, it's just so many things. So if you you got questions about gear, bass concepts, anything to do with gigs, like how to get a gig, how to ask people to play on your gig, anything to do with it, pop it down in the chat. I'm always happy to answer the questions to the best of my knowledge, and we'll just see where it goes. Jess Quayle, wowzers! Nice to see you. Can I play Seven Nation Army? Let's see. Maybe I could do it over this. There you go. How's that? Hey, Red. Nice to see you. John Axe, of course. Hope your cats have been doing well. I'm glad that worked out, but thank you for the kind comments. I appreciate it. So, favorite bass effect. Hey Thomas, how you doing? So favorite bass effect, yeah, that's a good question, because it's like it's almost like what's your favorite fruit? I mean, sure, like I love apples, but I also like oranges too. Moondrop, how you doing? Dripping. And so my favorite bass effect, I don't know. It's definitely, I would say for okay, let's get into envelope filters, because obviously that's a huge, always a huge talking point on this live stream. The EBS Bass-IQ is my favorite. Because it does that. Has a nice gradual. It does, it's that kind of reminds me of like and the reason I use it, because it reminds me of like a mini Moog, some of that George Duke. I'm a huge George Duke fan, and very inspired by him, especially his synth lead playing. So it kind of has that vibe to it. So that's what I really love. But I also really love this TC electronic vibrato pedal called the Shaker, which has a really cool, just kind of chorusy wobbling. Which I absolutely love. Really cool for chords, playing melodies as well. I'd say those two are my favorite effects that I have. And of course, if I'm to use an octave pedal, it's the EBS octave pedal. So those are my three go-to pedals that that are part of my sound and what I love to use. So Yeah, absolutely. Um, so Jess is asking, how do I get a gig for my band in New Zealand? New Zealand. We are 15 and 17. Hey, that's so cool that you have a band and you're, you're young, getting together and playing some music and really want to just do more. I really encourage that, and I think it's so cool. That's what I was doing at that age. Look, and this is for anyone, anywhere, not just in New Zealand. The thing to do is obviously you want to make sure that you have a good repertoire list of tunes that your band knows. So whatever style your band plays, whether you're a covers band, playing top 40 stuff, and especially here in New Zealand, you're playing all like the pub classics. So, like Split Ends and the Finn Brothers and, all that kind of good stuff. You want to make sure you know how to play those types of songs. You have a list of a good chunk. So obviously you have many hits to cover from, and that everyone in your band knows how to play them well. The other thing too is to make sure that you have some footage, any audio recordings from like a rehearsal or whatever, or even from a session or anything of your band playing, because obviously that's what's you're going to send to clients, any videos or anything. And the other thing to do is you just got to ask around. So obviously, because you guys are underage, over here in New Zealand, the age is 18 to be able to play in pubs and bars. But I know there are a lot of family places, restaurants and all that have live music. So find those places, as well as there are, I think they're still around. There are some databases online for like party hire, like people who are wanting to hire entertainment for their parties. So like birthdays, weddings, functions, and all that. So it'd be worth looking into those kinds of things. And registering your band, where you put like a bio, you put like the type of repertoire that you play, and any videos or links or recordings for people to listen to. And that's one way to have yourself established there. But really, it's a matter of like places that you know that you can play, going there and just asking. And some, a lot might say no, and that's okay. But someone or some people will say yes. All right. It could also be a thing of like, hey, even if they say no, it can be like, well, if you do, want to consider some time down the road for entertainment or whatever, here is our card or, our contact info. So you always want to, even with people who say no, still be, very respectful and polite, because that can still be a potential client later on. And when I was 15, like in 17, I was playing a lot of cover band gigs. I had a band called Deaf Shepherd. And we just played, it was just a trio, and we just played all kinds of functions. We played weddings, birthdays. We also took part in the Smoke Free Rock Quest as well. But we also had a regular residency gig at a place called the Big Coomera, which is in Wellington, which is no longer around. So that was a lot of fun. That I got some experience playing a bar gig, doing that, and dealing with punters and all that. So that was definitely interesting, but it was fun. It was also how I kind of got more into because we're a trio and we're playing a lot of cover band stuff. There were definitely parts in songs that I had to kind of double up on. So because a lot of songs would have like keyboards or a second guitar player in it. So that meant that, sure, I would do some of the chordal parts as well to just fill up the sound. And that's where I started getting more into playing chords and doing more textures on the instrument. So again, make sure you have like repertoire that you have, and add consistently and constantly add to that repertoire list as well. And even people ask for requests or whatever, like learn it, so that you have tunes that you can just pull from, right? But yeah, just ask. Yeah, that's what you can do. Ask, just go around. It's just like asking for, applying for jobs. Just go around and do that. So anyway, I see the comments just like going off here. Let me try and catch up here because it's just like streaming down. I'm like, but this is great. If you're just joining on, welcome. This is number 20 of the Bass with Benjamin live stream. And you got any bass questions or anything to do with music, just pop it down in the chat. And I'll try my best to address it. Mark Wright, how you doing, Mr. Acu Groove, and the creator of this incredible cabinet right here, my favorite bass cabinet ever. Really, it really is. That's the mastermind behind all that. Hope you're doing well, sir. Good to see you. Yeah. How you doing? Nice to see you again. And Moondrop has got lots of love. That's great. We're all love, but I appreciate the comments. Tom Minch, Rocco Palladino, exactly. And let me say, Rocco Palladino definitely following in his father's footsteps. Beautiful. I mean, what an incredible player. That stuff with Yusef Days, just absolutely amazing. You've heard of Pino Palladino. If you haven't heard of Rocco Palladino, who's his son, gotta check him out. And he's even played a bunch of D'Angelo gigs too, subbed for his dad, which is so cool. It's just like, hey, Pino, can you do this tour with me? No, I can't. But hey, my son can do it. Oh yeah, cool, sweet. Amazing. How many strings can a bass have? Also, please answer Jess's question. What was the other question that Jess had? I'm pretty sure I did answer Jess's question. Are you talking about the Seven Nation Army thing? Well, I did that during my little loop thing. So if you missed that, then after this you'll have to, or you can. I think you can rewind on this, right? You can rewind. It's towards the, when that comment came up, and then I tried it, and it kind of worked out. I'm strumming my bass to you right now. Hey, that's cool. Are you strumming some chords? But hey, try doing this. If you've got your bass in front of you, this is a really cool exercise, just doing stacked fifths. But what I'm doing is I'm doing thumb, index, and middle finger. Like this, right? I can just hear my wife in the background in the other room laughing like at some of these comments. It's amazing. Like that. And I'll get to Seven Nation Army a little later on. That's we'll get back there again. Wow, a lot of Seven Nation Army requests. Let's see. Yes, I've got the haircut and the equipment. Mamma mia, indeed. Yes. Y'all are cracking me up today. This is hilarious. and you're 5 hours of songs, covers, and originals. Well, that's amazing. That's very impressive, Jess. That's really cool. So you should be more than sorted. I mean, like that's, and then of course, you break those up into, various sets and all that. You're definitely sorted. So that's really cool. Well done. Yeah, that is a lot, right? And Thomas, so you're also a 16-year-old jazz musician. So this was a W question. I'm not sure what a W question is, but a question. Sure, W question. Okay. And nice. Okay, you're doing birthdays and gigs, or you just want bigger gigs. Okay, so like, obviously, when you get to that legal age of being able to play in pubs and all, and start to gather a following, right? Then that will definitely help. So just be patient. Like, let it happen naturally. Okay. The thing that you can do, obviously, with the use of social media, you're posting, you're taking videos, and people will be noticing, like, hey, these young kids are like incredible. They're playing all these songs and they're just totally killing it. That's how you can start getting a more of a social media following. I'm not a social media expert, but if you just be consistent with that kind of thing, it will really help you out, especially when you want to get bigger gigs and you have quite a following. People that are looking to hire you are going to notice things like that. Okay. And what bass is that? So yes, what bass is this? And this is also a question that gets asked every week. This is my Ibanez BTB custom 6-string bass. All right, so this was built for me in Los Angeles at the Ibanez custom shop. I have a whole video here on my channel that you can check out where I do a total, like, full rundown, all the specs and everything of this instrument. It's just an absolute, like, beast of an instrument that I absolutely love. It's incredible. And Ibanez did an amazing job on it. These are the same builders that built instruments for, like, Steve Vai, Thundercat, Joe Satriani, all the top tier, Tosin Abasi, the top tier Ibanez artists. These are the same builders, same craftsmen that built this instrument. So that's why they nailed it right from the get-go. And yes, it is a crazy bass. Oh, cool! You guys did Rock Quest and got third in the regional final. Nice, congratulations! That's really cool. I remember my Rock Quest days back in the day. I mean, we're talking about 20 years ago. It was a lot of fun with my band, Def Shepherd. Some good old times right there. It really was. So that's cool. That you guys did well. Great job. A fixed gig is a lovely thing. And yeah, it really is. In LA, there were a number of just regular gigs that I would play. Sometimes, on a weekly basis, and it's just such a wonderful thing to be able to just go into a space that you're comfortable with. The room, the staff. There's a lot of regulars that come in to hang out, and it's just always a really cool vibe. And there are many places like that that I loved playing. And even going to like overseas to do like a week-long residency was also such a fun thing to do. A number of times I've gone over to Japan and Tokyo and done like a week at the Cotton Club or at the Blue Note, either with like Billy Childs or John Beasley. And there's something really special about obviously on the first day you get there, you do your sound check, you have everything set up, you do your first show. That's great. And then you come back and all you have to do is just plug in and just go. It's so fun. Like I really appreciate it. You know, it's such a fun experience, and just being able to just come in and all you have to do is just focus on playing the music. It really is. And yeah, I mean the 2-year hotel gig, that's really cool. Some of those gigs are really fun. I remember doing a weekly brunch gig on a Sunday down in Inglewood in California with a pianist and a vocalist. And we were just doing R&B covers, and I was just, there's no drums. I was playing upright bass. But it was like, I really like, it really helped a lot of my upright chops, like endurance and all that, because we'd be playing, it's a 3-hour gig, you know, we'd take breaks and all that. But trying to play R&B covers on upright, it's not easy. Trying to play like Never Too Much, trying to play, you know, Stevie Wonder, you know, on upright and all that. I mean, it's a challenge, but it was a lot of fun. But it really, like, it helped with my stamina a lot. And doing that every week, like, it was pretty cool. And so, yeah, just having a look here, I see someone saying, please play some bass. I will, absolutely. I would love to play some bass. I just want to make sure that everyone, any questions here? W means win. Okay, gotcha. Fretboard Focus. John, what's up, man? How you doing? Sasha, good to see you. And someone named Stanley, who Mr. Daryl Johns. Oh, I think I know. Yeah, Daryl Johns is an incredible bassist and like singer-songwriter too, right? Anyway, I'll play a little bit of bass. And again, if you got any questions, put it down in the chat. There we go. Kind of a bit of the bass of different colors. I'll play along to a song a little later on when I do my gig archives thing. But so hold tight. That's going to be coming, all right? If you're just joining me and joining us here on the live stream, welcome. Nice to have you here. We've been having lots of conversations and some funny stuff going on here, which is really awesome. I really appreciate you all joining me here. This is one of the things I absolutely just look forward to, every single week, is just connecting with a lot of you and talking about music and bass, and whatever happens. That's what I'm all about. And thank you. I appreciate the comments. And you know what, Sasha on bass, I've been really enjoying your content as well. After you joined on a few weeks ago, I checked out the stuff and some really great breakdowns of modern bass playing. Matt Garrison, Hadrian, Farode, and all that. So really great work, man. Keep it up. Really stuff. I learned quite a bit from that too, and I recommend you guys check them out as well. So really great. And nice to have you on here, Sasha. And yeah, the George Duke vibes are being sent straight to your brain. Man, one of my favorite George Duke records is The Aura Will Prevail, which is just incredible. You can really hear where like Thundercat got a lot of inspiration from. You can tell he was, I can tell he's definitely listening to a lot of that record indeed. And this is like 1974, 1975. Some great tunes on there. And of course, Alphonso Johnson on the bass, Indugu Chancellor on the drums, George, of course, keyboards and all that. And there's a bunch of other musicians who play on it as well. So if you haven't checked out The Aura Will Prevail by George Duke, please do so. It's just incredible. Just album of music right there. So, and how I got into George Duke was through Stanley Clarke. I've mentioned before that Stanley Clarke is like the center of my like musical universe. Stanley being my biggest inspiration on the bass, and the reason why I started playing the bass. And when we're talking about like, I started playing bass when I was 7, 8 years old, and hearing him, I was like, wow. But I started getting more deeper into his playing and his music and just who he is when I was around 11, 12 years old. And reading his biographies of who he was into and just looking at the liner notes of the different albums and the musicians that are on his records and all that, that's how I started getting familiar with names like Tony Williams and Herbie Hancock and Billy Cobham, George Duke, even Alan Holdsworth, Wayne Shorter, like this whole thing. And then, then that starts branching off into like Miles Davis and John Coltrane, and then into everything else. So I'm now checking that out. And then, of course, then that gets into like Jaco and Alfonso and Anthony Jackson, Patitucci, like that's a whole thing. It really is. And the thing is that everyone is going to have a musician that has really influenced them the most and has been like their center of how they've discovered so many things. And I never really saw it that way, but it's really cool that Stanley was that connection for me. It really was, in terms of like the type of technique that he's playing, because it's so different to what like Jaco does. Obviously, the two different incredible musicians, and have their own voices, their own playing style, which is amazing. Like Stanley definitely doing a lot of that kind of thing, coming, and he's definitely coming from that Larry Graham, like bootsy kind of style of like playing as well. In Jaco being more of like, really doing his own thing with the back pickup, right? But using the bass guitar in like more of like a straight ahead acoustic jazz situation. We're talking about like in the early to mid 70s, and then obviously things starting to get a little more electric with Weather Report. When I was, and it's funny, for those of you who don't know, I played for many years with legendary drummer Peter Erskine, who was one of the drummers from Weather Report, especially during the Jaco Pastorius years. And I've asked Peter so many Weather Report questions, and I've even told him, like, hey man, I'm the biggest Weather Report fan, like I really am. And I asked him, I was like, how loud was that band? Like, how loud were you guys on stage? Like, what volumes are we like talking about? And he said, first of all, he said it was very loud, very, very loud. He's like, it was like a rock band. But he said it was Joe Zawinul and Jaco who were definitely the loudest. I mean, those two guys were like kind of competing. But he said Jaco's bass rig would be 4, sometimes 6 bass cabinets up on stage. And I said, how does that work? Well, he said, so the rig that Jaco used was called the Acoustic 360, which is a vintage bass rig that was it was used a lot in conjunction. There was obviously the Ampeg SVT, but one of the other main rigs was the Acoustic 360, which was designed for playing in very big venues, and the speaker design was designed to be a long throw. So if you were at the back, you would hear it very clearly. That's what was going on. Let me just plug this in. It should be all right now. It was, and so the way the speaker was designed, it was an 18-inch speaker that was reversed, and there was a folded horn, so it was just throwing the sound very far away. And so this was a very loud bass rig. He had 6, sometimes 6, but mainly 4 on stage. He had 2 behind him, and then side fills. He had 2, 1 on each side of the stage. So wherever he went, where he was playing, there would be bass everywhere. And Joe Zawinul would be doing a similar thing with his keyboard rigs. And it would just be so much. And, poor, Wayne Shorter, he's up the front. He only has 2 monitors, and he's trying to, he's playing a horn. He's playing an acoustic instrument. And even for Peter, even though he's playing drums, he said he had to really try to keep up with them. He said it was a lot of volume. It really was. He said, a lot of cases it was too loud. So that gives you an idea of just how loud a lot of those bands were. Same thing with Return to Forever. I mean, as a rock band, that's some loud stuff. It really was. What else is going on here? Let's see. Red is saying Thundercat is definitely my centerpiece, so I feel connected by default to Stanley and George. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's with Thundercat draws a lot of inspiration, and yeah, exactly. It's like, oh yeah, this is where it comes from. It really does. It is. Hey Nick Granville, how you doing, bro? And that's cool that you're singing, Red. Really, really cool, man. So I'm really excited to hear where you continue with your journey. And for anyone else, I'm really I'm always excited to know how people are doing with their journeys. And if I can help you in any way with your bass playing, please let me know. You can send me a message through my website or through social media. Please get in touch with me. So definitely a lot of that's the Jaco influence there for me. But That's the Stanley for me right there. So Jocko, Stanley. So over the years, I've kind of just incorporated how to use the various different influences and stuff that I've transcribed from many players, and how to like kind of put it into my own thing. And that's what any player does, whether it's a sax player transcribing some Charlie Parker, they're listening to Coleman Hawkins, or Michael Brecker. You're getting like this amalgamation of like vocabulary and concepts, and you're putting it into your own thing. That's just how playing your instrument it evolves. So it's definitely something. And then Patitucci, definitely. And what's really cool with Patitucci is that I can hear some Stanley in there, and now and then you get a touch of Jocko, but he definitely has a huge saxophone influence in his playing, which is really cool. I'm really just I'm just thankful for these amazing musicians that have really inspired us to do what we do on the instrument. As I've talked about before, the bass you can do so much. It really can. And aside from just playing some bass lines, but the whole thing of like using it as a lead instrument, creating all kinds of textures on it. I mean, you look at obviously, someone like Michael Manring, who does some incredible stuff of using the instrument as just like a solo instrument, and with his extended techniques, it really just shows you how this instrument has evolved, and it's amazing. It really is. Again, thank you all for the comments and just the engagement here. I really appreciate you all. It's so fun to do this. It really is, and it's a really nice outlet to just share and talk about music. If I haven't said that enough already. Where has John Patitucci played? I want to check him out now. Well, he's played everywhere, really. But Red, if you want a good start of Patitucci, definitely the first Chick Corea electric band record is the place to start. The electric band stuff is where you want to get into, and that's really where Patitucci, that's when he really became known. He was already playing before that. He was already playing a lot of sessions and gigs in LA, and touring a lot with people, with David Sanborn, Larry Carlton, Victor Feldman. I mean, he was playing with like kind of like everyone. Even like he was doing sessions with like Andre Crouch as well. And so that would be the place to start. And if you can find it, there's a bunch of clips on YouTube. There've been a few long videos of it, but he has a great instructional electric bass video that came out in the early 90s, which is been huge for a lot of players, like really influential, and even just like in terms of like really nailing down that kind of playing. And I would also recommend his solo records too. His solo records have always been really great. I've always loved his records. I love his musical vision. I love his tunes, his arrangements, and the ensembles that he puts together. Um, he doesn't always do the same thing, which is what I love. He's always doing something different, and you can see that evolution from his first album to the album he has now. So there you go, Red. You've got a lot of homework there. All right, get into the Patitucci rabbit hole. And also, he's just like such a nice cat. One of like the nicest cats I've ever met and got to hang around. Just a huge wealth of knowledge, and is just like an absolute like beast of a player, like ridiculous. Like you're just like, oh my gosh, like I don't know how he does that. And yes, yeah, Sasha, yeah, Chick Corea Trio. There's some great videos. Yeah, it's the acoustic band, but there was a version where they did some shows where Dave Weckl wasn't playing. It was Vinny Colaiuta on drums, and incredible stuff. And yes, that version of Tumba, just yeah, ridiculous. Mark saying your keyboard player in the 70s ended up in Long Beach State University, played with yeah, that's right. And Patitucci, I know Patitucci was living in the Bay Area too at some point, like in the late 70s. You know, he went to college out there, and it was and then I think it was a decision or whether he'll do this classical bass scholarship or move to LA, and he chose to move to LA to play jazz. What a rebel. Really cool. And so who has two accounts here? The Paper Planes. Why you have two accounts? I don't know what's happening. That's why it's hilarious. I'm gonna play to a tune, because why not? I'm going to play to a tune by a great keyboard player, pianist, a friend named Isamu McGregor. And Isamu, I know he went to Berkeley like years ago. And he was living in New York for a while, playing a lot. And he moved to LA maybe 10 years ago, I'm guessing. But we played a lot of gigs together, like playing his music. We played all kinds of other gigs. He's played on my gigs as well. Just an incredible pianist, and I love playing his music. And usually on when he would play his gigs, it's usually Evan Marion playing bass, who's another cool bass buddy as well. Just beautiful cat, beautiful bassist. And so obviously Evan lives on the East Coast, and so a lot of gigs that Isamu would do in LA, I'd be playing on them, along with Gene Coy on drums or Christian Newman on drums. Sometimes it would be Steve Haas as well. But anyway, I'm going to play one of Isamu's tunes, and this is from his record called Resonance. Oh, there's my dad. Hey, Dad. Hey, Pops. And this tune is called The Dreamer. Yeah, it's called The Dreamer. Really cool tune here. A lot of stuff to kind of pay attention to. Let's see if I can nail it. And definitely check out the original recording, because Evan takes this incredible bass solo on it. There's just absolutely other worldly. But I'm gonna play this tune here, The Dreamer. So enjoy, and please let me know if you can hear the track in the back. So. I'm gonna juice up my amp volume here. Okay, cool. Let's have a go here. That was fun. Oh, it's going to something else. That's a lot of fun. When we would play this tune already right there, that's 10 minutes long, but when we would play this, sometimes this would go on for like 20 minutes because we would just like build it up from just absolute nothing and just really take it somewhere. I just love playing his music. There's a lot of stuff like that, and it would be a mixture of tunes. He would also do some really hip arrangements of like some standards as well. So I would also be playing upright on the gig, so I'd kind of double on both. But his original stuff is really cool. But you definitely got to check out the original recording of that and hear Evan's bass solo on that. It's just so amazing, really cool. But that's Isamu McGregor's tune called "The Dreamer," and that's from his record Resonance that he put out a few years back. Take care, Dad. We'll talk soon. All right, be well, and hope you feel better. And Mark writes, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. All those gigs I did, Mark, was with the AccuGroove behind me. Always had it right behind me, and it never let me down, which I just absolutely love, man. You make some of the best bass cabinets just on earth. So I really appreciate it. And any bass players here, if you're looking for a new bass cabinet, something that is like absolutely high quality and is like as solid as a rock that will just take a beating, you got to check out AccuGroove. You really do. There's some of the most, like, the sound is just absolutely pristine, and Mark is a great bass player himself, and so he has been on this journey for a number of years, like, well over 2 decades of trying to perfect, the perfect bass cabinet. And so I'm really appreciative to him, and this cabinet right here. So check out the AccuGroove stuff. I mean, this thing, it's held up. It's even like, I know I've talked about my bass head, my old Aguilar bass head, like falling down a flight of stairs. Well, this thing has also fallen down a flight of stairs too, and I freaked out and plugged it in. It was totally fine. It was totally fine. It worked perfectly. Red, Resonance. Let me just make sure that I'm spelling it right. That's how you spell it. The way that you just spelt it, Resonance. Great record, really great. And then you're saying you've had players make fun of you for anchoring your thumb on the B string. I notice you do the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure why someone has to make fun of you for doing that. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. Oh, a lot of reverb. I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. Hold on, my phone didn't plug in properly, and it's telling me that I have 20% left. Sorry, guys. I know I got to get new charging cables at some point, but I don't think I think it's totally fine. Wherever you put your thumb is where you put your thumb. That's how it is. I don't think there's a right or wrong way. As long as you're not hurting yourself and it feels comfortable, you're able to play what you need to play. That's how it is. Some people have the floating thumb thing, like Alfonso Johnson. He does that. Obviously, Jameson used the thumb for also anchoring as well, and he played with the one finger. But Patitucci, you see resting on the B string. It's totally cool. Nothing wrong with it. So they're just jealous, Mark. They're jealous because you've got a cool thumb. That's why. um, and Isamu McGregor. So how you spell his name? I can write it in the chat right here. Isamu McGregor. There you go. That's me. Yay! I've never written in the chat there. Isamu McGregor. That's how you spell his name. And Sasha. So the body wood of that bass may be older. So the body wood, Sasha, is the tops, ash, and the body block is alder. So that's what I'm used to, because my groove line, no, not that one there, my groove line is of those woods, and so I wanted to have something that is similar, that I'm used to, and definitely going on the kind of hybrid of like a jazz bass and a P bass. No, not jazz bass and P bass. A 60s and a 70s Fender bass, I guess, because they use those woods in the body. And so, yeah, it's a really nice combination. Obviously, this is a maple board. On the back is some Purple Heart, which I didn't know, but they did that. I was like, okay, cool. Well, I knew that I wanted like a 5-piece neck, and I thought they were going to use Wenge, because that's what I have on that bass, but I guess they use Purple Heart instead. So, but either way, it's totally fine. But yeah, I think we're actually we're almost out of time here. If there's any questions that you have, pop it down in the chat. So we only did one envelope filter thing, but so I guess no other envelope filter questions. Yeah, so Sasha, the weight of the space it's really light. It really is. Yeah, it's even despite with all the stuff that is going on, the pickups and all that, but it is really light. That has to do with this bridge being very light. It's a hip shot bridge and hip shot tuners, and these are really light. The bridge that's on my groove line is super heavy. It's really, really heavy, and that's why that bass is very heavy. But this one, no, not so much. This one is very, it's pretty light, which is really cool. I don't know exactly how much it weighs. All I know is that it's light. That's all I can tell you. I would say it's definitely lighter than most typical Fenders. I'll say that, which is really cool. And it's got a little bit of a neck dive, which is kind of typical on a lot of basses, but it hasn't been a problem for me because I usually use, obviously a strap. So the way I have the strap is that so that it doesn't go. So anyway, yeah, and yeah, no, there's no issues with standing with this bass, and I do have on my strap, I do have this strap pad right here that I kind of gave some input into this company who asked me, when they were developing it, they sent me some samples, some prototypes, and I gave them feedback, and they just kept developing it. This is a company called Atmos that are based here in New Zealand. They make some amazing straps, like vintage style designs. But if you have a heavy instrument, you can put this strap pad that they made. It's really comfortable. It just hugs your shoulder so nicely, and I haven't had any problems where like my shoulder's like, so that's definitely really great. So yeah, Atmos, as in like Dolby Atmos, but this is obviously not Dolby, just Atmos. Check them out. They ship anywhere in the world, which is really cool. So and really, really cool people, all handmade straps. So yeah, the guitar model. This is an Ibanez. So Ibanez are the is the guitar company that I've been with for many years now, almost 15 years. And all my basses are Ibanez. I play Ibanez. I'm exclusively Ibanez, and I love it. Yes, I'll put it down here. Atmos straps. There we go. Atmos straps are really cool. If you're wondering what bass amp I'm using the Quilter bass block V803, and you're hearing the DI, and you're hearing a mic signal as well from the bass cabinet. And that's how I like to do these lives, is doing a combination of the two signals. That way you're hearing a good sound. But this thing, after having this, this probably almost 2 months now with this bass head, and it's just absolutely incredible. That's 800 watts right there. It just kicks your butt. The tone is just so clean, and it's like, especially if you like to do a lot of soloing, use a lot of effects and all that, it doesn't break up. It really holds it together, and it will make your cabinet sound incredible. Especially when I'm soloing, like, I really push it. I really do. There's a lot happening, and it keeps up. It's one of the only bass amps that I've used where it can keep up and doesn't like bottom out or anything when I'm playing super low notes. It really doesn't. So check it out, the Quilter. If you're looking for a bass amp, I totally recommend that. Really do. But yeah, I think that might be us for today. And this week. This has been so much fun. I really appreciate you all for like jumping on here and just hanging out with me, and just, having some great funny conversations here as well. It's like, it's hilarious. There's always, whatever going on. But I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate the support. And again, if there's anything I can do to help you with your bass playing, your bass journey, feel free to reach out to me. I have a coaching and mentoring program available. It's one-on-one, and so I can help you with whatever it is that you want to figure out on the bass. All right, and I've been doing this with quite a few students, and it's been a lot of fun. So if that's something that you want to get into, please let me know. There's some links down in the description box to my courses and all that, bass chords, theory. Even if you want to learn how to play the bass, maybe you're on here, you're totally new, I have all that available. But don't forget to subscribe and like this as well, because this helps get my content into the other streams or the algorithms or whatever, the polyrhythms or whatever it is. And if you don't follow me on social media, please do. Reach out to me. Love to hear from you. But again, thank you everyone for jumping on here. Nice to see the regulars. Nice to see some new people as well. Your support is always just, it means a lot to me. And wherever you are in the world, be safe out there. All right, there's a lot going on. Enjoy playing your music, playing your instruments, and I encourage that you do so every single day. At least do something, even if it's like for 10 minutes. Sometimes it only takes 10 minutes to have like a breakthrough of something. But try to do that every single day. Just do something on your instrument. Connect with it, and you'll because it all adds up. You'll really feel yourself as a musician and as a player. So thank you again. I really appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of the week and the weekend coming up. And I'll see you again next week. All right? Okay, Red is asking, would Logan Kane. I absolutely love Logan Kane. Logan Kane is, and I know Logan as well. And I always send him a message, when he posts some insane playing video going, man, what am I going to do with you, man? Like, it's just like, you're just insane, dude. Logan Kane is ridiculous and hilarious as well. So yes, absolutely. Really good. You're listening to the right people, Red. You really are. Okay. Keep it up. You're doing great. All of you are doing so great. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. See you again soon. Oh. Let me try it. No, I'm going to do this one. Do it down here. Yes, I love that show growing up, and I still love it. I'll still watch some of the episodes because they're crazy. Anyway, take care, everyone. See you again soon.